I'm Christine Stavropoulos.
Κι εγώ, ο Νίκος Σαμίδης.
Maybe you were born in Athens. Or maybe your yeah was.
Ίσως μεγάλωσες μιλώντας σου ελληνικά. Ή ίσως είσαι το ξαδελφάκι που φεύγει για Ντουμπάι για δουλειά για 1 χρόνο μόνο.
Wherever you are in the world, if Greece lives in your heart.
Αυτό το ταξίδι είναι για σένα. Φύγαμε.
This podcast brought to you by Natasha Karamiho, your trusted legal voice in Greece for all your legal matters, and Helco Consulting, trusted services for all business and investments in Greece.
Who doesn't love a great opportunity? Who doesn't seek a great opportunity? Life is about chasing and achieving. And on today's episode, we have the pleasure of introducing to you a gentleman by the name of Konstantinos Zouras. He is co-founder and head of international relations of Unity in Philia. It's a non-profit in Greece, strengthening the relation with the world. He is also the chairman of professionals in international trade, Australian non-profit connecting professionals in international trade and investments, connecting Australian business and organisations with international opportunities. And on this podcast, what we've tried to do is shatter the myths of the naysayers, the negative Nellies. Greece has entered a new phase in their economy, in their opportunities and investment. And you're going to tell us all about that today. But first, you're going to give us a little bit of a background on yourself, where you were born.
Before we go to that, I would like to welcome everyone in this episode, all are watching us, and listening to.
You're always
Christine, you're always welcome, but we need to mention that during our program. And to welcome Konstantino in our episodes.
Thank you for having me, Nick. Is it Nick or Nikos?
I prefer Nikos.
Nikos. Having me, Nikos and Christina. It's a pleasure to be with you. You have an amazing place here. In Australia at the age of 17 in 2009. And that's basically a significant year because it was just before the crisis began in Europe. And I've been here for 17 years. I came here as a teenager, and 17 years later, at the age of 34, I've studied in Australia and an Australian university. I've studied international relations, and I work within the domain of international trade and investment for the government, but also, as you mentioned, Christina, I'm the co-founder of Unity in Philia, which is a Greek non-profit. We promote it as a European non-profit because the purpose of Unity is to strengthen the relationship of the European Union with the world through cultural diplomacy. I'm the chairman of an Australian non-profit that is called Professionals in International Trade. It was founded in 2017 with the aim to connect professionals in international trade and investments and of connect companies, startups and R&D organizations, universities and so on to international opportunities. And I can give some examples later.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a very wide range of skills. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you want to...
Yeah, I was going to say, talk us through the cultural aspect of Unity in Philia. How do you connect it to culture?
What is Unity and Philia? Let's start from this simple
Good idea.
What is
good
it?
idea. So I'm going to tell you how it started. The idea was conceived in 2014. The other co-founder, we had two co-founders, me and Vasilis Adrachtas, a professor, is a very well-known professor within the Greek community in Sydney. We had a conversation about finding ways to connect the Greek-Australian community with the Greek states through culture, education, and so on. And then we conceived the idea of basically creating an organization. I didn't know exactly what type of organization. So I started basically looking into the types of the legal entities that the organization can have. So for me, it was an important time back then because, as I told you, I came here at the age of 17. And before Unity in Philia was created, it was the first time in my life since I came to Australia that I started speaking with lawyers in Greece, with banks, and trying to find the legal status of the organization. So what we decided to do is to create an organization that is based in Athens, and we did this for a symbolic reason. We could basically establish the organization in Sydney or in another city of Europe, but we wanted to be in Athens because we wanted to connect Europe with the world through Greece.
When you say the world, because you mentioned Australia and Sydney, it's actually global.
It's global, and I will explain you why it's global. So we use culture to connect societies, individuals, organizations. And within 2 years, which is basically from 2024 up to date, we have expanded the organization from Athens to Australia, to South Korea, to East Africa, to Vietnam, Ukraine, and we're expanding more and more every year. And when I say expanding, we have on-ground presence. We have presence on the ground, not just, a few people that say they are the representative. We have people on the ground. So we can provide services, we can provide support and so on. More specifically with South Korea, we went there last year in May 2025. I just want to mention here that the organization was established in 2024, but we started operating from 2025. So basically 6-7 months operating, we did our first major international project in Seoul in South Korea with the Korean University. Now, I don't know how many Greek nonprofits have been to Seoul and to do with the Korean University and also sign an MOU. Basically, a memorandum of understanding is you do this to formalize the relations between you and another organization and basically set goals. You say, I'm signing an MOU to do A, B, C. So one of the targets, one of the goals of the MOU is to strengthen the relationships between Greece and Korea through cultural diplomacy and academic diplomacy. Basically, we do academic projects and so on. So we are an organization that is expanding internationally every year.
Can I ask something? You mentioned we connect communities and through culture. How culture is a component in these projects?
Culture is basically the major component, is a connecting point. And I will give you a very practical example. Let's say you want to do international trade. You're an Australia entity and you want to do international trade with Korean companies or organizations. Now, if you don't know the culture, how can you be able to approach them and establish relationships with them before you do culture? Let's say you go to India or you go to Middle East and you do something like if I go to Middle East and I do this with my leg right now, that's actually quite offensive.
Is it?
So it is offensive.
Okay.
So
that can actually make or break.
Because everything happens through people.
Yes.
Everything happens through culture. And I've seen, especially in the last 2 years through Unity Leah, the power of culture. Guys, culture is so powerful. It can connect people, organizations. Like in South Korea, how did that happen? They study European culture and European civilization. They study ancient Greek. Our representative, it was actually at the beginning of the organization, it was me, Vasilis, and Kyung Young. Kyung Young is a professor in South Korea. Back then, he was doing his PhD in Sydney. So he was in the Air Force. He resigned from the Air Force and he moved to Sydney to do a master's degree and a PhD in the ancient Greek and Byzantine philosophy and all. He reads ancient Greek, so he went back and that's how the collaboration happened. But that part of the university, they actually focus on studying European cultures and European civilization. So it happens through culture because people and organizations are primarily interested to connect with others. It's all about connection, even in international trade.
Absolutely.
You have the specialists in international trade, all right? But can they really be effective if you don't establish a relationship first? No.
It's also understanding each other's likes and dislikes.
100%.
Because that is first, no business happens unless you develop the relationship first. And you can put one foot wrong. Like I know a lot of things which are very acceptable, for example, in our culture. You go to Japan, big faux pas. You can't do this, you can't do that. Understanding the culture and creating that familiarity builds trust, patience, and then businesses.
Yes.
Are you trying to find similarities in cultural similarities?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Like to try to connect through.
To understand the difference.
Yes, exactly. We're trying to understand each other. Correct. Yes. Absolutely correct. We're trying to find points of no similarities, points of connection.
You could be diametrically opposed and have no similarities, but if you understand what the cultural differences are and the elements, you know how to do them, so you're not offending them. You're not offending different cultures. So cultural, what you're doing for international trade is paramount to succeed.
It is indeed.
Yes.
It is.
Okay, let's continue with the
fascinating.
Let's continue with the project with the Philia. So tell us more.
Unity in Philia. So we are going to have a major project in Sydney. Okay, in a few months from now. It's going to be because we've done several projects in Sydney since the beginning of 2025 up to date. However, this year it's from the 6th to the 11th of September. We're going to bring the Διεθνές Θερινό Πανεπιστήμιο, the International Summer School, which is basically co-organized by the University of Ioannina and Unity in Philia. The University of Ioannina does this every year, and last year they were in Boston, United States.
They're quite active, aren't they?
They're extremely active and very successful. So basically, this is an academic conference that every year they do it in a different place. Last year it was in the United States. This year is going to be in Sydney. It's under the auspices of the President of Greece. So it's a 5-day conference. And what we have done at the University of New South Wales, what we have done is basically one day, which is 11 September, on the free trade agreement between the European Union and Australia, and also on Horizon Europe, which is a very significant of the free trade agreement, and I will explain why.
Yes, I really want to get into
Horizon Europe is my best.
Yes.
But I will explain why.
Yes.
Now, why do we do that? Although basically the purpose of the conference is to speak about the Greek language, how we can support the Greek culture, the Greek language, and so on, is because culture cannot exist. Culture cannot be supported without business. These two things coexist. We should not separate them. You cannot do cultural diplomacy. You cannot strengthen the cultural aspects of an organization or a country without doing business.
Yep.
So that's why we're trying to show how the free trade agreement will basically help organizations and countries and individuals to support culture, and more specifically the Greek culture. So your question regarding the Horizon Europe program. What's Horizon Europe? It's something that I learned.
Who facilitated it? Start with
European
its inception.
Union. European Union is basically the largest funding program for research and development. And research and development is basically the cornerstone of economic development, because through research and development, you create innovation. Through innovation, you create, AI innovation. All right?
Is it circular economies that they're
Everything,
focusing on?
circular economies, medtech, agri-tech, deep tech, and so on. So it's the largest funding program provided by the European Union. It has two phases, one from 2030, and please forgive me if some of the details are incorrect. The first phase is from 2023 to 2027, which is going to finish next year, and Australia will be eligible to participate from next year. And the funding program for next year is, I think, up to 19 billion euro. 19 billion euro.
Wow.
The next phase from 2028 to 2023, it's more than 120 or more than 130 billion euro, and the application process will be easier. Now, what is Horizon Europe? As I said previously, it focuses on research and development. Okay, so from 2027 onwards, Australian companies or R&D institutions or even universities will be eligible to participate in the program and receive funding from the European Union, not alone as part of a team.
It have to be industry that obviously is going to be used in Europe.
Yeah, so each year, the EU basically announces priority industries. It has to be within the priority industry that the European Union sets every year. So we're going to find out soon. However, as I said previously, why is this important is because for two reasons. Australian companies and institutions and organizations will be eligible to receive a lot of money from the European Union, although Australia is not a member of the European Union.
Yeah, that's...
Number one. Yes, a lot of money.
That's a bit of a... Yeah. I wanted to add
I will
that.
explain you why that happens. And this is very important because that agreement will basically support the Australian economy. Research and development means productivity and economic development. So it will support the Australian economy. It will give a lot of strength to, especially to startups.
Does this apply to other economies around the world or specifically to Australia?
For Horizon Europe,
Yes.
I think so far applies only to European countries within the EU. I think Australia is one of, if not the first, one of the first.
Outside of Europe.
Outside of the
And
Union.
the reason it happens is because the free trade agreement between the European Union and Australia is a geopolitical agreement that has a financial and trade aspect. Okay?
Okay.
It's geopolitical.
Dollar.
Yes. So European Union and Australia, they want to come closer because, the international environment right now is not very stable and predictable. So the large blocks like the European Union wants to bring closer middle-sized powers like Australia, Canada, and so on. So we have very similar elements, political elements like human rights. Both of us support human rights. So why not? Excellent. So we try to come closer through the free trade agreement.
Can I ask you, for these applications, what is the selection criteria
Good question.
and the application process?
A very good question. And now I will return back to the event is September. So why do we have that event on the 11th September? For two reasons. First of all, we want to show the significance of the free trade agreement. So what are we going to do? We're going to bring a delegation from Greece consisted by universities and a few consulting businesses and companies. Why we want to do that? As I said previously, Australian companies and organizations, in order to protect Horizon Europe, they need to be part of teams. So they need to find potential partners. It can be a team of 4, 5, 6 organizations, universities and companies.
When you say teams of...
It's called consortium.
Consortiums of industry, consortiums of individuals.
No individuals, companies.
So it's got a consortium of a company.
Companies, it can be a mixture of companies and universities.
And how big does the consortium need to be?
I know so far, and please forgive me if I'm not 100% correct, but it has to be a minimum of 3, I believe, 3, 4, in order to, if you want the application to be successful, because you need to submit an.
So how do they divide if these are separate companies that come together as a consortium, they're applying for a combined grant and
they apply for a combined grant, and each participant
entity
receives, yes, from what I know so far, the successful Australian companies, the ones that will apply and the application will be successful, will be eligible for an amount of between 200,000 euro up to 1 million euro. Just the Australian company, which is a lot of money,
It is.
right?
Of course.
But also another plus is that through the consortium, they will connect to European partners, which will give them easier access to the European market.
Yes.
So the free trade agreement will give you access to the European market because it removes the tariffs, which makes your product cheaper and therefore more competitive, and gives you access to a huge market. But you need partners. You need on-ground support, on-ground connections. How do you do that? By establishing connections with European partners. So
Yes.
it's going to help a lot.
I think
So-
that's most important than the
100%.
grants.
Yes.
100%.
That's where the juice is.
but also the money are necessary, especially for startups, you know? 'Cause
Yeah.
they need the money to survive and develop.
But when you open doors
Yes, good point.
through other organizations, that for me that's the key.
100%.
That's the key. There.
Because you find potential clients, you find new opportunities.
You learn, you
investors.
exchange. Yeah, of course,
of stuff.
knowledge and
How are you seeking out these consortiums? Do you send out invitations to specific industries?
So we don't know yet. That's why we're going to bring the delegation from Greece. Now, this is basically the first phase of a big plan that we have, because we're planning to do similar things at least 2 or 3 times every year. Why? Because the FTA, the Free Trade Agreement in Horizon Europe, will basically make the relationship of the European Union and Australia 10 times stronger. So we need to do this kind of stuff very often. So we're going to start with Greek organizations, as I said previously, universities and consulting companies and businesses. Why? Because number one, we want to show them the Australian ecosystem. They want to know what is the Australian ecosystem. And secondly, we want to prepare the ground to connect them with Australian partners. Now, Unity in Philia has the responsibility of creating the Greek ecosystem that will come, the delegation that will come to Sydney. Professionals in international trade, which is, as I said previously, I'm the chairman, has the responsibility to create the Australian ecosystem.
Can I ask
Yes.
something? Why Australia has been chosen
Good point.
for these and not USA, for example? I don't know if if it exists already,
Well, Constantino said it's geopolitical.
EU and USA are competitors.
especially now.
Especially
these
now,
times.
yes, competitors.
Yeah, tariffs is very hot.
Tariffs, yeah.
Yes.
Tariffs
I
is a
don't
very
like
hot-
tariffs.
I think EU as a bloc is the 4th largest trade partner for Australia. Number 1 is China, followed by Japan, United States, and Europe as a bloc. So you see the competition already.
Our standards align more as well.
Yeah,
In food standards, technology
Yes.
standards. So we're very much
Pharmaceutical.
everything.
Yeah.
yes.
from a political perspective, we are liberal countries.
Yeah.
We support human rights, so
Yes.
we're very aligned.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And how about Turkey?
Ooh,
Mention there.
trying to avoid that.
That's
What
okay,
about
no, no.
Turkey?
I'll just-
So this is exciting.
It is indeed.
The project in November.
Yes.
September.
September, yes.
So how many members from the delegation are coming over from Greece?
Altogether, it's going to be 50 plus, including the University of Ioannina, because the whole team from the University of Ioannina and every official participant, some people from, let's say, Greek ministries and so on, they will attend the events of every day, because every day will have a few different events. So the whole team will be there.
And
I suppose so. The Greek policy will be a media partner.
100%, yes, 100%.
exciting. You will be. I'm going to be, unfortunately,
No, you have
still
to
in
come
Greece.
back. We're working here.
I'll be
You can't-
I'll be your correspondent. Because tell us what your thoughts on the current economic situation in Greece, how it's changed over the last few years, which are the sort of significant opportunities that are available.
So I left when I was 17. I didn't have the chance to get a job in Greece, to leave the whole economic environment. And then I started in Australia. So basically, I started in Australia and I got my first job in that international relations field in Australia. In 2018, I got a job with Greece in Australia. That was my first job in international trade. But I will say the last 6-7 years, every time I go back, and I go back very often, I see that Greece has changed a lot, has become more developed and more progressive. A very simple example, every time you go to KEP, okay, which is the equivalent of, what is it? Service New South Wales.
Yes.
You see it coming a very progressive state, a very European state. And it's very different to my experiences from 2009 onwards throughout the financial crisis. Some of the locals say that there are still many difficulties, and they are, but all of us, I'm certain we can see the change. Greece is progressing, is becoming a European country, and within that region is a very, in terms of stability, is a very stable state compared to other countries, to the neighboring countries as well. So Greece is a progressive European state. That's very important. It's part of the EU, and it's a stable state. Regardless of the elections, okay, you have the ex-government and the other government. In terms of political stability, it's a country that offers political stability, and that's very important for international trade.
It is. My vision is, at the moment, foreign entities are buying up huge chunks of Greek land, Greek property.
Yes.
I would like to see that minimized. And what I'd like to see is opportunities like what you're doing for trade. So Greece is developing more its relationship in terms of R&D, technology, investment, and grow that way rather than selling off its land.
But
Look,
when you leave,
golden visa.
Hold on, give me a sec.
Yeah.
When you leave a liberalist country, you can't say, or you're liberal or not. You can't say, I'll be liberal in this and not here and here. We can't expect to have everything sorted out the first 10 years because, to be honest, these openings happened the last 10 years. That's where they've been developed. And at the same time, you can't, like here in Australia, how you can protect that? Open or not? For opinion.
Well, you can mitigate it.
The losses? Is it the loss in investments?
Okay, for example,
because we talk about investments.
I'm talking
when
about
someone's
investments.
buying a property, he invests. So this is an investment. Can you be selective in which investment you're in
Yes.
or out?
because I would not have golden visas for residential property. I would have golden visas for technology, for industry, for commercial enterprise, which is going to help the economy and at the same time not price Greek people out of the market, which is a major problem in golden visas. Golden visas for me are catastrophic.
Yeah, when you
in residential.
For me, and sorry, Constantino, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'd love your opinion too.
When you do an opening, you open up to the markets. So you make your country to look more attractive. In that case, you have to suffer from this kind of losses in order to be attractive. Then after that, I think you can put things straight and say, okay, well, now we need to minimize these. For example, real estate or golden visas. But first of all, need to open up. Greece is open. For me, that's the most important thing.
But what's attractive about no longer owning the majority of your country? There's nothing attractive in that.
I look to Australia.
Are you talking about leasing, like the passport, or
No, real
Talking
estate.
about real estate.
I think that's a major problem that almost every Western country is facing
Exactly.
in some way.
Yes.
Especially you see that problem in Greek islands.
Yeah.
Okay. Like teachers, they go to Greek islands to teach the job, they cannot find a house.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
terrible.
This is something that I'm not sure how they're going to do it, because it's a very thin line. Because on the one hand, you're a capitalistic state, which means you are free to business. So if you want to buy a property, you buy it. I'm not going to stop you from buying it. I can basically control or basically set a regulation about who's going to buy what.
When it comes to investments and business opportunities, you need more than promises. You need experience that delivers. You need people you can trust. Helco Consulting provides strategic partnerships, clear methods, and services with a strong presence in Greece. Helco Consulting, your trusted consultants in Greece.
When legal matters affect your business or life, you need guidance you can trust. Natasha Karamihu provides expert legal advice, protecting your interests and navigating every challenge. Natasha Karamihu, your trusted legal voice in Greece.
I'll use digital nomads.
Yep.
They've relocated living in Greece.
Yep.
They're fine in the winter. They want to rent
Good point.
all year round, but they've got to pick up and go somewhere else during the summer season because the house is being Airbnb
Good point.
That is
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, but that's not a problem because someone's buying the house. That's a problem because the area that they're renting is high tourist area. So the owner says, okay, I stay here for the whole summer period, which is my time to make some money, with 300 euros rent, where I can have 300 per day. So that's another thing. I don't think
You've got to
that.
look at it holistically.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a problem of investment.
And you see a very real problem is Airbnb, Greece, okay? And same here, we have a real estate issue in New South Wales, but for different reasons.
Yes.
Here because we have a growing population. There because we have a lot of people buying houses, or we have a lot of Airbnbs, and the locals, this is insane, okay? If you think about it, the people of Athens, the local people of Athens, the Athenians, cannot enjoy Athens because of over-tourism and Airbnb. Now, is tourism bad? No, it's not. It's a very good thing. But it's becoming something bad because it's affecting the life,
everyday life.
the everyday life, but
Of
also
the average citizen.
But
and
it's
the citizens need to come first.
but it's affecting the culture as well. Can
Yes.
you imagine, like, if in 10 years from now or 15 years from now, you cannot find a Greek person within Athens CBD, and the only thing that you find is bars and rooftops and hotels?
I agree.
In the center of CBD, like at the core of our civilization?
Our culture needs to come first.
Yes.
Funny we talked about that, guys. We live in Sydney, and if you go to CBD in Sydney, you can't find like the balance. It's out.
Oh, in which way?
You'll see more Asian people. You see more.
Yeah, but we're a
other-
multicultural country, Nico. That's about the culture of Greece being diluted.
Costadino said that it will be difficult to find any Athenians lives in the CBD.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here in Sydney.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. What do you mean? No, it's not.
I live in the CBD. I
Now,
don't,
okay, walk down, go
yeah.
to the CBD,
Look.
and find me like
like what?
the Feditcom Aussies living.
What's a fair income Aussie? That-
What is a Feditcom Greek Athenian?
A Greek person? We're Greek.
Yeah, that's what I say.
different.
I'm basically, when I say the Athenian, I'm not referring specifically to the culture, but the people who live there, who are
Yeah.
locals and live there, and are not tourists, which is not a bad thing. Tourism is fantastic, and we love people coming to Greece. Okay, we
Yeah.
love them and we respect them for that,
Yes.
and we thank them for that, for
Well,
visiting our
we
country
like
and
to
living in money.
showcase our culture to the world. That's why.
And they work every year to accumulate wealth, and they go to Greece and live a part of the wealth, and we thank them for that, okay? The problem with tourism, with over-tourism, is that it affects in a very negative way the infrastructure. That's the problem. It's a problem of infrastructure.
Because the infrastructure is not keeping up with the demand of
Guys,
tourists.
we have 30 million,
Even on the islands.
30 million tourists every year in Greece. It's 3 times the Greek population, and the number is growing. Do you understand that? 3
Yes.
times the Greek population. And you've seen that for historical reasons, due to historical necessity and difficulty and so on, Athens does not have a very good infrastructure for historical reasons, okay? Wars, civil wars, and so on. It's the fact that 50% of the Greek population lives in Athens, in one city, is not a good thing.
No.
Imagine adding all these tens and hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. You've been in Athens in summer?
Yes.
Okay. Can you visit the rooftop in summer? I've tried several times. It takes me so much time to wait in the line.
I'll
and
give
go to
you
the
my
rooftop.
contacts.
I've never had to
Costadino.
wait
I'll
in
give
line.
you my contacts.
Really? Oh, you have the contact. I usually visit Athens in winter. But I'm in love with Athens.
I love it.
Where are you from?
I'm from Patra.
Oh, there you go.
See, I was born and raised in Patra, but the vast majority of my friends, my old and my new, live in Athens or around Athens. So basically, every time I go back, I spend most of my time in Athens. I'm in love with the city. I'm in love with the people.
The city that never sleeps.
Yes, and I think in winter, because it has
reading
less
winter.
population.
I was talking with a friend of mine who's got a rooftop at City.
Better tell us the name so we can visit.
Yes.
I'm going to use the connection.
100%. It's yours. And he was telling me that Athens now is a 12-month city.
It is.
Tourists are all the time, especially down Plakap City, Thysio, all these like historic areas. The other problem is that cities are grown outwards, not inwards. You can't change.
You mean tall buildings?
Yes.
In Athens specifically,
buildings.
or
All cities.
Okay.
That's the rule. You can't grow a city from inside. It has to grow from outside, especially with historical cities like Athens. So you can't change anything in the
No.
CBDs. Nothing. The only thing you can do is high-rise buildings. But that's
Well, only to a limit because Chris.
yes,
FX
you can't.
have
You
sort of
can't.
the-
So what I want to say is growth, because we're talking now about Greece's growth. It comes with a price. You see how it works, and based on the flow, then you make decisions. Okay, this it needs to be regulated more. This it can be opened up.
It
For
has
me,
to.
that's my opinion.
It has to be regulated because the purpose of economy is to serve the people and to serve the culture, not the opposite.
I totally agree.
So
I totally agree.
yes. So I fully support the free markets. I think it creates a lot of opportunities for people and it gives a lot of freedom to people. And I always support freedom. But at the same time, it creates problems and governments always trying to find solutions. Like the housing in Sydney, okay? Sydney, Australia is a very progressive and very wealthy state. But you can see there's a massive issue with real estate, with housing. It's part of
There's many elements to that.
many elements, but it's part of capitalism. It has positive and negative sides, and governments should always look out for new solutions.
I was
That's why we need research and development.
Well, I was going
Exactly
to
for
go
that
back
reason.
to the Horizon Project.
Yes.
And you talked about infrastructure. Is this part of the purpose of the Horizon Project and to hand out grants? For example, the islands have a water crisis. Would they be looking at external technology to come in and try and solve those problems? Because you've got a major tourist problem and a water shortage on most of the islands. Crete had a big crisis last year, I think, or the year before.
a year before.
So there's a lot of technology and circular economies around water technology. Is that the sort of thing that the
100%.
Horizon Project is looking to attract?
It's part of it, or water or waste management, rubbish.
Yes.
Another issue. Circular economy. Yes, 100%.
Do you have an interest?
Do I have an interest?
Yes.
I'm always interested in technology.
Yes, especially with
No, I mean personal, like a
especially
business interest.
We'll find one.
especially with Greek islands. It will be extremely helpful to make Greek islands more sustainable.
That's-
Because the way they are right now, Mykonos, Santorini, Naxos. Naxos is an island that will become like Mykonos and Santorini very often. Will not be.
Paros already has.
Will not be. It's impossible. So it's about protecting the culture. It's about protecting the environment and the culture.
Exactly, because they're building these huge resorts without having thought to infrastructure of water supply. If you've got a 300-400 room hotel, how do you get water to that hotel, and what does it do to the water supply of the island for
The rest
the
of
people,
it,
the
yeah.
residents that live there?
And yes, correct. And that's why governments and non-profits and other organizations play a massive and very significant role in that. Because you understand, we are all involved in some type of business here, that the major purpose of a business is to make money. So business people, their primary concern is to make money, not to protect the environment. That's why you need to have a strong state
Yes.
to put limits, to regulate and tell you, yes, you're gonna do business, you're allowed to do business, but you have to do A, B, C. I want to protect the environment, I want to protect the local people, the local communities and so on. So there has to be a balance.
Are there any guidelines by the European community in regards to that?
I'm certain, I don't know, I can find it for you guys.
No,
I'm
just a
certain because
question.
EU is very policy oriented. EU
Yes.
as a bloc and as part of that bloc is a very safe and stable place. It's one of the best places to do business.
I want to say something. A week ago, I had a concert down at State Theatre, and it was sad to see at the CBD and everywhere in the CBD, people sleeping on the side of the road.
It's tragic.
It was so sad
CBD, you talk, yes.
to be next to an iconic, like full light State Theatre, and then poor people not have a place to go and to sleep. I felt sorry, and I said, okay, what are you doing?
Some of the-
Like, put
I find Nordic countries tend to mitigate that problem. Countries like Australia, the US, they've got a huge population of destitute homeless people, which is tragic, absolutely tragic to
is.
see. I don't know how that fits into this current conversation, but as an aside, it's a social problem. It's a major social problem.
It's a big contrast, Christine.
It is.
You have
It's a
you have a
major
society that's blooming. It shows like
And right
it's,
next to you is
and
someone.
right next to you.
Yes.
And actually, what I did, I spent 10 minutes with them
Yes.
after the concert, and I spent 10 minutes there talking with them. How you guys going? How you doing? And all that. And I felt a bit better.
Having been involved in some international business, other countries, the most successful projects are the ones that give a benefit to the local community and the environment. Because there are some companies are going, they rape the resources, they rape
Fully agree.
everything. You've got to show that I am coming into your community. I'm going to develop this project, but this is what I'm giving back to your community
100.
and to your environment.
I fully agree with you.
And
If
that
you-
should be our mission.
Yes, you want to do business, you want to do international business, you want to do like an international company and you want business in Naxos, make sure that you contribute to the people in the island of Naxos, that you protect the environment
Not
and,
only
you,
make
and
money.
you support the local infrastructure.
You become partners.
Agree.
100%.
Yes,
You have to respect the land and you have to respect the people. Otherwise, don't go and do business.
I agree
Yes.
with you.
Don't exploit the place.
So what's next on your calendar? You know, that's the first big event that's coming up on September.
I have so many upcoming projects, guys. I'm trying to protect my sanity right now. So the next one is Naxos, about it.
Yes.
I'm not going to be there, but our partners will be at the island
Can
of
I go
Naxos.
instead of you?
You can definitely go, my
Okay.
friend. Yes, it's going to take place in October.
Okay.
Yes, it's gonna,
Christina, I'm out on October, just to let you know.
it's going to take place in October. It's a cultural project.
I wish I could be there in October.
Yeah, it's a cultural project at the island of Naxos.
I love Naxos.
It's in collaboration with our favorite partners. They're called. It's a non-profit that is based in Greece, consisted by 5 artists. They're called the Art of Life Collective. The Art of Life Collective. We started this collaboration because one of them is a good friend of one who went to school together, and she's from Patra, but she lives in Naxos permanently for the last 4 or 5 years. So we decided to do a cultural project at the island of Naxos to basically support the culture and also promote the culture internationally. So in collaboration with them, we're going to do the project in Naxos.
What is the project? Give us the scope of the project.
In very simple words, we will show the culture of Naxos, the native culture, to the world. So we're going to do, it's based on art. I don't know the specifics, I'm sorry. My artist friends know the specifics. Being artistic projects, paintings, music, dancing,
art.
and
We'd,
so on.
we'd love to be involved
Yes.
in that, Nico.
That would be great.
So this will take place in Naxos. It will be facilitated by the Art of Life Collective. But Unity in Philia, through the international network that we have, we promote the culture of Naxos internationally. In Australia, in Korea, in all the other regions, and so on.
Have you tried to approach Syros, the
It's
government?
next to it, isn't it?
It's the capital.
Yes.
So
Cyclades, yes.
Cycladic Islands. That's a very cultured and artistic island in itself. So if I'm just throwing some ideas out now, if you find a collaboration, and I know some, very high profile people in Syros that can provide, tourist dollars, destination marketing,
100%.
all of that, you should possibly.
It's a fabulous idea and is actually part of our plan on Naxos. Naxos will probably be the core of our strategy because we have good friends and partners living in Naxos, and it's also a beautiful island.
Because I'm going to Syros, so let me know if you want me to talk to anybody.
100%. And talking about this, I would love to collaborate with people like you because I believe in teams. I believe in creating ecosystems, and that's what I do. In both of my organizations, Unity and Philia and Professionals in International Trade, is creating international ecosystems and include more partners, and we achieve goals together. This is like a teamwork.
Together we can.
Together we
That
can.
should be the slogan.
100%. Yes, I fully agree with you.
And I'll take Crete.
All right, you take Crete.
I'll take Crete.
I don't blame you. I love
I would love to connect with your connections from Naxos and have
100%.
them hear the show to share the vision and
To do a
the
physical
dream.
interview or online interview.
Oh, no, we can do a
Everything. We
Zoom.
can do
100%.
Zoom. We can do. I'll be in Syros too.
I can assure
And-
you that you're going to love them because they have a very special energy, a very special vibe.
The painting behind you from an artist in Greece, Antonia Iroidou.
Amazing.
Yes.
All of them are artists, all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're going to love these people. They're all between the age of 32 to 36. Yeah, it started through my friend Alkis Stepan, which is who's an artist. We have the same date of birth. We went to the same school at Patra, and she left. She went to Thessaloniki and so on, and she lives permanently in Naxos for the last 4 or 5 years.
I love him.
That's how it started.
She will be in Thessaloniki. I
When?
might be in connection because I'll be in
Are you going to
Thessaloniki.
Thessaloniki?
Yes, because I'm half Thessaloniki.
When?
I'll be there on July.
2 of them, I think 2 members of the team are from Thessaloniki and live in Thessaloniki.
Okay, I think I can have an interview with them.
Yeah, 100%, whenever
Over
you
there.
want.
And if
Okay.
anyone's in Athens, Nico and I will be there conducting
Yes.
interviews, podcast.
Or Syros or everywhere. Like
be in
even
Syros
in
together?
Syros.
Athens together, and any collaboration, anyone that wants to come and meet
I
with us.
really believe in collaboration.
100%.
Together we can achieve a lot of things.
Absolutely.
thank you very much for being with
What a
us
wonderful,
today.
full,
Thank you
loved
so much.
it.
And
You're
So
the best guys.
inspirational.
I love seeing things happening. And for
Yes.
me, that's very promising and gives me, because I'm this kind of people that I live for the next thing to come.
Next
Yes.
adventure.
Yes, exactly
I
right.
think this is I truly believe this is our nature. This is our true nature. We are seekers of adventures, and we should always seek out to do new things.
And on our previous podcast, it's good for our brain.
100%.
Oh, yes. Challenges our
The
brain.
challenges our brain, our communication skills, our networks, and you meet good people along the way, and you learn from the bad, because the best lessons I've learned in been from the bad people I meet, not the good people I meet,
Fully agree. Yes, yes,
and it teaches you to be more astute
yes, 100%.
and aware of everyone around you.
Basically, what you're describing is critical thinking.
Yes,
Critical thinking with social skills are the two primary skills that we need to develop for the future, especially now with AI. Isn't it very concerning that now with technology we're very connected, very, very connected,
and disconnected,
and at the same time very lonely?
and disconnected.
This
yes.
creates a lot of loneliness and connection, see?
It does.
And now you can have a boyfriend, Christine, sleeping next to you, turning off next to you, and to be a robot,
It's
AI.
basically coming, guys. It's being developed already.
That's
Yeah.
what I was reading, and you can talk to him. You can say, "Hello, darling. Good morning. What would you like for breakfast?"
Everybody meet
Say,
Melina.
I'll take.
I'm just happy having my little Melina. Anyway,
Yeah.
Lina, thank you so much. It's been an enlightening
Thank you
and
for having me.
informative conversation.
You're doing an amazing job, guys.
All the
Congratulations.
best
We love what we do.
to the future, Constantina, and our show and our platform is always open to you and your project.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Konstantin.
Thank you, everyone, for staying with us for another episode here. And looking forward to seeing you on the next one.
I just want to give a special thank you to our sponsors and to everybody that supports us and shares our podcasts and follows us. We're here because of you. Thank you.
This podcast brought to you by Natasha Karamiho, your trusted legal voice in Greece for all your legal matters, and Helco Consulting, trusted services for all business and investments in Greece.
I'm Christine Stavropoulos,
Κι εγώ ο Νίκος Σαμίδης. Και αυτό είναι το Greek Podyssey, το podcast της Ομογένειας.
a podcast for Hellenes worldwide, sharing stories, culture, identity, laughs, and a little bit of tsugrisma along the way.
Γιατί μπορεί να φύγαμε από την Ελλάδα, αλλά η Ελλάδα δεν έφυγε ποτέ από μας.